Welcome back to the 128KB podcast. We're back. We actually made it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lack of popular demand.
Yeah, well.
But we're here nevertheless to give you our unfiltered and unsolicited opinions on all things gaming.
Oh, yes.
And Andy,
Yeah.
you've got something to share this week, haven't you?
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
It
Excited?
came. I'm super excited.
It came, he came,
Everywhere.
the Steam Deck.
Yes.
So, is it everything you hoped it would be?
Yeah.
And thanks for joining us this week.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's still sinking in because I still haven't spent as much time as I want with it.
Yeah.
And, you know, my solid state drive, the NVMe drive that I ordered to swap out.
Yeah,
with
how's that worked out for you?
Yeah, it got delayed by a month.
Savage.
So I'm still on the 64 gig internal.
So the whole reason why you wouldn't buy it, and then you would buy it because you could change it and
No, I
update
can't
it. You can't change it. So
Yeah.
now you've just got the one you didn't want to buy.
Yeah, basically.
It's here.
It is.
Is it the end of Nintendo?
No.
Okay.
No, it's not.
But is it the start of a new era of gaming for Andy?
Yeah, definitely. 100%. Yeah. I mean, it's funny how I've done like full circle,
Yeah.
like in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
starting with PC gaming and being like a PC gamer for so many years, and then kind of like drifting away from it a bit, you know, heavily focusing on Nintendo just because I love handheld gaming and
Yeah.
being able to play on the go wherever you want, you know, lay on the sofa, whatever, you know, rather than forced to be at a desk, you know, which is great. I love PC gaming, you know, like, I know 4K, you know, like all this graphics, even though I play at 1440p, but you know, like
Yeah. High frame rate.
Yeah, I love high frame rate, like max graphical settings. But then I don't really care. I'd rather play it where I want to play it,
Yeah.
like more easily. And
Yeah.
this, you know, is blowing my mind right now. Even though I've only really been playing old games on it, that's another thing that these games aren't available on any platform
Yeah.
other than PC.
I'm going to say this, right? For the last year, I've wanted to not want the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
And because it's been really inaccessible,
Yeah. Yeah, it has been, yeah.
I've been like kind of smug about it, you know. But when you said you were actually going to get one, and I started looking at it and talking to you about it, and now I've actually touched the thing. There's so many things that make me want it.
Yeah, yeah, I know, right?
It's so hard.
So, because yours is way fresher than my first experience.
Yeah. Okay.
Right, because it's literally today.
Yeah. Literally half an hour
What
ago.
are your first impressions?
All right.
And then I'll tell you
what was
mine
the
later.
first thing I said when I held it? Do you remember?
No.
I took it out, I held it, and went, "Oh, I'm getting Game Gear
Oh,
vibes."
yes. Yeah. What? Why? What sort of GameCube feel did you get from
Game
it?
Gear.
Oh, sorry, Game Gear. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I know the Game Gear's trash, right?
Don't say
In
that.
reality,
I've got one.
Yeah. No, but I love it, right?
Yeah,
And I
yeah.
know by today's standards, it's horrible. But when I first experienced the Game Gear when I was a kid, got it out. It had this black mystique, and you held it, and it was like it feels really premium.
It was
and
huge, yeah,
amazing,
yeah.
and it felt huge.
Yeah.
I had exactly the same kind of rubber band. As soon as I held that, I was like, it just feels right.
Yeah.
Can I explain it? It is the best feeling. I won't even say controller experience I've had
Yeah. From the Steam Deck. Yeah.
from the Steam Deck. Not just handheld like Switch, handheld gaming experience. Just
in
generally.
general. Yeah.
Like it just everything's exactly where it should be.
Yeah.
It feels perfect.
Come on. Put it in your hands whilst you're explaining.
Oh, don't, because I want to buy it. Like everything, the buttons look stupid,
They do.
but they are perfectly placed.
They are. Yeah. It's so ergonomic.
The grip is wonderful. The triggers are amazing, and then you start teasing me with like the added features that are hidden under the surface. The haptic feedback on the
Trackpads.
the trackpads is wonderful. They're super accurate for FPS games, first person shooter games.
Yeah.
Aim with them, amazing. The sensor that's underneath,
The joysticks. Yeah.
what the hell, man?
Yeah.
And then suddenly the gyro works, and as soon as you let go, it disengages. It feels, your first experience is, it feels perfect. It feels like luxury.
It does, doesn't it? It really does.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, if someone gave me this before it was released and everything, like Valve rang us up and went, you know, have a look at this. I would look at this and go, that's got to be like 700-800 quid's worth.
Easily.
Do you know what I mean?
Easily.
And you're looking at 350 quid for this model.
And I've not even touched on what it looks like. The display. The display is beautiful.
It is, isn't
And
it?
you're saying it's 19 by 10. 10 by 19.
16 by 10
16 by 10.
instead of 16 by 9.
Yeah, sorry.
So like, yeah, it's more like a PC monitor resolution, like an old PC monitor resolution, because everything's 16 by 9.
Yeah.
But I think what it is they purposefully chose that for compatibility with old games that used to be in those resolutions.
Yeah, sure.
You know? But it also gives you more screen space.
Yeah, it just feels big. It feels a lot bigger.
Yeah. And I think another reason, like remembering something that Valve said, I think it was so navigating store pages and stuff was easier because you've got like an extra amount.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Makes a lot of sense.
Like vertically, you've just got more real estate, you know?
Now I'll go on to the thing that made me really fall in love with the idea of this. And it goes back to a conversation we've had on this podcast and in other videos quite a lot. And it's like the preservation of video games. Because of the compatibility of a lot of older games from the Steam library that are now available in this new modern hardware, suddenly I can play these games that are potentially inaccessible anywhere else.
Yeah, exactly.
They definitely won't look as good as they do everywhere else. So the first thing you did, knowing me, was go, here's Half-Life 2.
yeah.
Have a look at that. Like, I like Half-Life.
Yeah.
Okay. It's amazing.
It's so good.
It's never looked so good.
I know, yeah.
It's never performed that good.
I know, it's so good, isn't
Straight up 60 FPS, no problems.
Yeah, like native resolution on there. It's not like being upscaled or anything. It's just...
and then the controls are mapped in a beautiful way.
Yep.
There's functions that weren't there that are there now.
Yeah, like the quick turnaround and stuff. Yeah.
I could imagine playing through that whole game.
Yeah. I'm definitely going to.
Yeah. Would be an amazing experience.
Yeah.
So that makes me excited for what else is in the Steam library that's available that I'm never going to experience in such a good way unless they remake it. And it's there.
Yeah.
And probably there for like a $5 or something stupid.
Yeah, or less. Yeah. You know, like it's insane, isn't it? I mean, for me, like going back a little bit to my first expressions.
Interesting.
Impressions. You can say I'm not with it today. You know, I opened the box and I was like, whoa, that's big. Because, you know, it looks big, doesn't it? It's
huge.
bigger than the Mixon desk here.
It's
like,
huge.
literally. And I had it on my lap and I just went, wow.
Yeah.
Like, so first thing was stick the screen protector on.
Because it's handy.
Yeah,
Everything has a screen protector.
I bought a pack of 2, luckily, and I had to bin off the first one because it wasn't to my
Did you
standard.
mess it up?
Yeah. So, no, I didn't mess it up, but there was a bit of dust and stuff under
it's
it.
the
and
dust
then,
swirl. Did you wipe it?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, I did. I actually had the screen protector in my hand for the first time I opened it out of the case because I knew it had been like factory prepared and there would be no dust on it. But anyway, stuck the screen protector on and then I was like, right, I can get it out now. So I was like, this thing's just so huge. I was like, I can't be comfortable. And it once you like sit it in your hand, it just makes sense.
Yeah.
Like ever since they announced it, like I've all been for it, but I was always a bit skeptical, like we said in the previous one. And then even the controls, like you said, they just look a bit weird. And then you get them in your hands, it's like.
Do you know how well it's sold so far? Do you know roughly the unit numbers?
They've sold over 1 million.
It's not as many as I'd have thought.
But then you've got to think it's such a niche thing.
Yeah.
And most PC gamers still want 4K 1000 FPS.
My head is more like the appeal to console gamers is massive with this.
Yeah.
That's me. You're a PC gamer that's drifted back into consoles.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a console gamer. I never feel the motivation to get that deep into the weeds with problem solving, with fixing,
which is all
patching,
PC.
Which is PC gaming, isn't it? You know, 8 out of 10 days, you have the best gaming experience in the world.
Yeah.
2 out of 10, you're fixing problems.
Yeah.
Console gaming is every day's 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every day's like, it's all right.
Yeah.
It'll do.
But at least it works. Exactly.
The appeal here feels like that there's a big draw for console gamers, or at least for me.
Yeah.
And when I think about things like the PlayStation library being available there, or most of it.
Yeah, a good amount of the new stuff. Yeah.
And obviously, a lot of Xbox games are going to be there.
We were playing one earlier.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, Fable. Yeah. So it feels like it's a big draw there. The fact that Sony dropped a Vita, is it just a big open goal that everyone's missing?
Yeah.
Like high-end handheld gaming.
Yeah. And that's exactly what I think Valve's gone for. You know, they've seen the success of the Switch, seen the Switch being able to be portable and dockable, which this is too.
Yeah.
You know, and then gone, why don't we make a PC that does that?
Yeah.
You know, even though there's already been PC handhelds, nobody cares. That's super niche, you know.
Yeah, nothing like this.
And they all run Windows. There is so many more problems that they create.
Yeah.
But because this is a Steam machine, I know it doesn't have to be.
Is it built on Linux?
Yeah. So it's Linux. So
it's going to be stable as well.
Yeah, exactly. And that's so if you're just a normal person, you can just go on Steam and just download your Steam games.
That's what I love about it.
And you're either going to guarantee they're going to work, or the Steam, Valve, they're going to tell you straight up, might be a bit of a problem here.
Yeah.
This is the issue. They actually tell you what the problem is.
Amazing.
You know, and then it's up to you whether you want to try and tackle that or not.
So talking about issues, and me from a console lazy gamer experience, the reason I stay away from PC is primarily I cannot be bothered to deal with the issues that come with high-end gaming.
Yeah.
What issues have you come across that would put me off?
So on this or just PC gaming? In
no,
general?
from the Steam Deck.
Well, it's a tough one. It would be exactly what you're fearing, you know, wanting to play a game and then running into an issue, which is exactly what I ran into with Psychonauts.
Right.
So Psychonauts had it on my library. I probably bought it 20 years ago.
Yeah,
it came out in 2005. I've probably had it on my Steam library since then. Never played it ever. And again, I think that was an Xbox game originally. No, it's a cult classic. Always wanted to relive it. Never bothered to load it up on my PC for some reason. Psychonauts 2 came out. Bought that. Never played it. You know, so that's on my Steam library as well. So I was like, I want to play Psychonauts because I've been wanting to for ages, but it was not verified. It's the playable, but there might be an issue.
Sure.
You know, and it said, well, it was only ever keyboard and mouse. So there's no controller bindings.
Right.
You know, so I thought, it'd be all right, wouldn't it? Loaded up the game, opened the game. I pressed one button and the screen just started spinning. Like the camera was going around and it was making me feel sick. I was like, oh, and I couldn't do anything about it. I was like, oh man, this sucks. Like it's broken. I thought at least I'd be able to like walk around or something and maybe remap some stuff. Couldn't even get the menu up. Couldn't do anything. So I was like, So instead of giving up, went on to Google, just said Psychonauts 1 Steam Deck. And then the first thing was someone on Reddit going, got an infinite spinning camera. Some guy went, yeah, I had this problem too. Here's the video I made for it. So he linked his YouTube video, which showed what he did, but he'd uploaded on the community tab his fix. So he'd remapped all the keyboard bindings and remapped all the triggers and stuff.
Wow.
Saved it as like a patch that you can then go find on the community tab by launching the game, pressing the Steam button, go into community, and then everyone's workarounds for all the button configs and everything were there. I downloaded it, booted the game, worked.
That might be one of the most amazing things I've ever heard. Not because someone's gone out of their time to fix it for you, or that there was a fix for a really old game that really shouldn't be running on 2023 hardware.
Yeah.
It's the fact that this library of games is evolved by the community, and the community can then share, like modders do.
Yes.
But with fixing the
control schemes and stuff. Yeah.
That makes this fundamentally more exciting.
Yeah.
And fundamentally more of like a leap forward in video games in general.
Definitely, yeah. And I didn't have to do anything. I didn't have to like install anything off my PC or anything. I did it all through Steam's operating system, which they have created for the community to be able to do that.
Such a good idea.
Like so even if they haven't got around to their testers actually going through and fixing stuff, other people could do it for me. And again, it wasn't this one guy that had made that community thing. When I went on the community tab for controls, it was endless. So many people had made their own things.
Wow.
And all I had to do was install it. That let me it let me put the resolution to the actual full screen size, because before it was like a 4x3 little bit on the screen. I put it all to normal, and then all I had to do was go into the control scheme and just rebind A, X, Y, and B, which was part of his stipulation, you know, go into the controls, just remap that. And he tells you what to do. And then now it's like playing buttery smooth. I played it for like almost an hour with no problems. And it was like I just plugged in an Xbox controller and just started playing. Even though Steam said you're not going to be able to play this straight away.
Yeah.
Took what, like 10 minutes to fix it?
Now, I know that this is a handheld gaming experience, obviously, and it is the best handheld gaming experience I've ever had.
Yeah.
Straight out the box. You're like, everything about it feels right. What have you plugged it in through a monitor or TV?
Not yet, no.
What do you expect it to be like? Obviously, it's not what it's designed for.
No.
But I'm just thinking, again, from the more casual gamer's experience, could this be a high-end Switch?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So I can play triple A games on decent hardware, handheld and
on the TV. Obviously, unlike the Switch, like this won't be kicking out more power or anything once it's docked.
Yeah.
It is literally just going to be the same thing. So realistically, you think this is what, a 1280 by 800 resolution, like for the actual screen here. So if you're kicking it onto a 4K TV, you ain't going to play games at 4K. You'd probably set it to 1080p.
Yeah.
And then you'd still have a good time, you know?
Yes. Yeah.
And the best thing is Valve has even incorporated FSR in this, which is basically some games have it natively built in, but Valve lets you force it through the Steam Deck. So if a game isn't running very well, go into the resolution of the game, bump the resolution down to like 360p, enable FSR, and that will upscale it so that it runs better. So
That's genius.
it's loading a game at 360p, but
Yeah.
it's probably outputting 1080p.
Yeah.
And some of the like settings tweaks and stuff, you couldn't even tell the difference. Like it's insane. So yeah, this is definitely a way of being able to have both. I'm certainly going to test it.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, is it a valid alternative to one of the current generation consoles?
Probably. I mean, it really depends. I would say possibly if you already have experience in like PC gaming. If you were just coming fresh from a console and then buying this without any prior like research, maybe not. Like, maybe not.
My head's in a weird space with it. I enjoy my PS5. I love my Switch. The thing I don't like about my PS5 is the fact that it feels kind of pointless that I've bought a PS5.
Right.
I'm not getting any discernible advantage over the PS4.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
I play on 1080p television, which is
Okay.
how a majority of the world
Yeah, that's
is
true.
experiencing stuff.
That's
still.
true. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. What exclusive games am I getting
Yeah.
realistically?
Yeah. I mean, most games they're still making for PS4.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what PlayStation exclusives are there? Yeah, that's
Crickets.
a tumbleweed moment.
Yeah.
So what am I getting for that £500 basically that it is that I'm not able to access on this?
On this, yeah.
And so this is from a pure everyday gamer's perspective. For many people watching this or listening to this, they're going to be at the bleeding edge of one space.
Yeah, they're going to be hardcore.
Of course, I'm playing it on a 4K screen.
Yeah,
of course I am. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
And frame rates and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Casual gamers,
For absolute
the
casuals,
vast majority of people that play games.
Yeah, I mean, I still think...
Is a console still better for them?
Yeah.
Is this a valid alternative?
It really depends. If you're into tinkering,
Yeah.
even if you've not been a PC gamer, but you like your research and working around, getting excited to play a game you've not played in 20 years that might not be supported, but there will be a way of playing it somehow.
Yeah.
If that excites you, then yes. If you're someone that's come home from a long day's work and you literally want to press a button, hear a beep, and just play, then get a console. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
for me, I'm seeing this as a way of not only playing the new modern games that I want to play,
Yeah.
and I've got a little story about Dead Space in a minute to talk about on this as well. But for me, like playing games that I've not been able to play for 20 years or wanting to play for 20 years or whatever, older games that are now not available elsewhere, being able to play them here, like anywhere, and then still dock them and play them at a really good, resolution and speed because they're older games. It's not like latest AAA. That really excites me. And that's why playing like Fable, like we were, playing Psychonauts, playing Half-Life 2, that really excites me because I haven't played some of those games in
And I have to
years.
say, those games look amazing.
They look really good.
They look amazing.
And they're like really sharp, aren't they?
Really
Like,
sharp.
no like muddiness, no like popping.
Amazing frame rate.
Yeah,
like
all
60.
locked at 60.
locked in.
Yeah, it's just mad. And it's so much cleaner, like not to bash Switch or even try and compare it, but a lot of the games look muddy, you know,
Well, I'm
like a bit fuzzy.
I've always been a big defender, as you have clearly, big defender of the Switch.
Yeah, I love it.
It's got its place, and it's for a certain type of game, a certain type of gamer, and for that, it's perfect. But even us now, it's starting to get hard to keep defending the lack of updates there.
Yeah. Yeah. A 15-year-old chip that's struggling. Yeah.
Yeah, it's feeling a bit tired now.
Yeah. It's 8 years old.
Like we've moved on a long way in that time,
Yeah, definitely.
as shown by,
Yeah, as this. Yeah.
and you know, this is even a year behind where we are right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
We've moved on a long way. Yeah, so but that's a different discussion entirely.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, that excites me a lot. I mean, again, talking back to the community adaptation of stuff, this is more to do with Valve themselves. So Dead Space Remake just came out.
Yeah.
Literally just come out. And of course, everyone was like, well, does it run on Steam Deck? And everyone tried it, completely broken. To the point where The Verge, I think it's The Verge, isn't it? Yeah, released an article way too late after it had already been fixed, saying it's broken, it doesn't work. Valve instantly, within the day of launch, I think it was like within 6 or 8 hours or something, released like, I think it was a Proton update for the Steam Deck that fixed the problem.
Wow.
That made it go from completely unplayable to now it just runs fine.
That shows their interest in it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they had a team of people there ready
Yeah.
to like test it on deck, go, hang on, it's crashing when I'm opening the map.
Yeah.
Hang on, like there's stuttering and whatever else. Let's fix it.
Yeah.
And it's not even their game. And that's like a brand new AAA remaster. You know?
So I'll final question about the Steam Deck. Do you think we have seen the biggest part of the growth of the Steam Deck, or do you think this is like the tip of the iceberg? Do you think now it's becoming more available, that it's not being scalped and there's access to it now?
Yeah.
Do you think we're going to see like large amounts of people taking it up?
Yeah. I think
become more popular, more mainstream?
Yeah, I think, well, look at me, for example, as
Yeah.
we were discussing before, like as soon as they announced it, I was like, that's amazing, but I'm not buying one.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to test it out for them. Might break, like, you know, maybe the games don't run because they're not meant for Linux. That's what Proton is something Valve has developed to let Windows games run on,
Yeah.
you know, Linux essentially. So I was like, no, I'm not touching that. A year later, now I'm like, yeah, I'm touching that.
Yeah.
And I think other people are going to be like me. You
Yeah.
know, they're going to see, actually, this thing's doing really well. And actually, I don't care about 165 FPS at 4K or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like, I want to play some retro games or even modern AAA games like the Dead Space thing
Yeah.
anywhere I want.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's going to start appealing to more people, and more people will be how I've seen it, of going, yeah, go on then. It's only 350 quid.
Yeah.
You know, and bam, done. And I think the support from Valve is just going to sort of like perpetually
Yes.
get bigger,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like because more and more people are going to buy them. More and more people are asking for the latest games to drop. And like with Dead Space, they're fixing that. So they're ready. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? It didn't take them 6 months. It took them like 6 hours,
Yeah.
you know, to the point where The Verge or whatever they're called released their article, and literally instantly all the comments were like, you're late. Like, it's fixed. Like,
That's
update
brilliant.
your article. Yeah, I know. But so, yes, I do think this is going to become a bigger thing.
Yeah.
And I don't think, because I had the worry of they're going to release the second version.
Yeah.
You know, I wanted to wait for that.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
they're not. It's only been readily accessible since October,
Yeah.
I think. You know, it's only been out for a year. And they've already said if they do upgrade it, it's just going to be a better screen and better battery life. Even then, I think they'll at least wait for 2 years. So I think you've got 12 months minimum
Yeah.
before they release the next version. And for the next version with better specs, probably 4 years,
Yeah.
you know? And then, yeah, it will be probably really souped up, but then the price will probably reflect that.
Yeah. And hopefully they'll have the player base
Yeah,
by then
for
for it to do really, really well.
But
Not that, you know, selling 1 million
Yeah.
units is
No,
that's not failure by any
Yeah,
means. but-
no, especially for like a random console that's just entered the ring. It's not like Sega
Yeah.
just come back out. Do you know what I mean? It's Valve. They're just a store for PC games.
One thing I want to talk about in a future podcast is this a handheld revival, or is it just a one of a kind? Because
yeah.
we've talked, and I know loads of other people do, talked so much about the Vita,
Yeah.
how it's still a great
That's
concept,
amazing. Yeah.
so ahead of its time when
Yeah,
it was released. So how there's still an appetite for that, and people look back and go, "Oh, that was really cool. Why aren't they still?" Yeah, is this the start of? Was the Switch essentially the start of the revival?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think the Switch, they nailed it. They failed hard with the Wii U, but the Switch was like what the Wii U should have been.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? They'd taken what went wrong with the Wii U and then really honed it in on the Switch. And I think other people went, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Being able to take your home console out and about and continue playing off where you've left.
Yeah.
And that's the other funny thing about this is I showed you earlier, I've got saves from Half-Life.
It's amazing.
From like 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Because when I played them 15 years ago on Steam, it's saved.
Yeah.
And they're just on the cloud. So it's just said, oh, look, there's your saves from 15 years ago if you want to play from there. It's like, what?
It's absolutely mental.
And you don't have to pay for internet. Like, you know, with PlayStation, you need PlayStation Plus.
Yeah.
Xbox, you need whatever that is, Xbox Live.
Yeah.
Nintendo, you need Switch Online. And even with Nintendo and stuff, your saves, these cloud saves are locked behind that paywall.
Yeah.
Well, this is PC. You don't need to pay.
Yeah, it's amazing.
You're just on the internet. There you go.
Amazing. I guess that about wraps up the excitement for this time. We're definitely going to be dragging this out and talking about it some more.
There's just so much to say.
And if you'd like to hear us talk about it some more, then make sure you subscribe to the channel here, or maybe to Andy's channel, where he's going to talk about the Steam Deck in loads more detail. If you're listening to us on Spotify or iTunes, whatever, leave us a rating. It helps.
Yeah.
You know,
do it.
A little 5-star. Well, you know, always be good.
Yeah. Do it.
And I guess that only leaves one thing. That's to go, if you're really, really, really bored and watch one of Andy's videos, it'll be around here somewhere. It's probably not that good, so I wouldn't bother wasting. And if you're really, really, really bored and just want to hear my voice a bit more, then there's probably something here as well.
Go check out AJ's PlayStation videos. Do it.
Whatever.
And subscribe.
Yes. And until next time, I'll see you next time.
Bye.